All right, folks, my first guest tonight is an actor and a director. He's appeared in such films as Heartbreak Ridge and The Cotton Club. Behind the camera, he's directed New Jack City, Posse, and Panther, which is now on home video. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to our program, Mario Van Peebles. Thanks for coming back.
Thank you. Yeah, no, it's good to be here. We've been lost in like serious Pope lock, though, man.
I know the
I've
Pope.
just gotten out and walked, you know, because this is a trip, but it's good to be back in New York.
Yeah, it's very difficult to get around here. Very hard.
Definitely. Yes,
yeah,
yes.
But you're here now, and I wanted to mention this up front. The book on the movie Panther is out right now. And the home video is out. You're promoting the release.
The video is out. It's you know, because some people were scared to see the movie because it was so controversial. But now you can watch it in the safety of your own home. VCR saves you a lot of trouble. Look at what it did for Pee Wee Herman. If Pee Wee Herman had a VCR, so all of you that want to, you know, it's a good movie. It's a good time. It's
if Pee Wee Herman had a VCR, all right. Well, I understand. I was flipping through the book today, and I didn't know this because it's kind of a fascinating story how you put the movie Panther together in the first place.
Right.
And I was flipping through it, and apparently you had a little trouble with the studio. They gave you a little trouble on casting.
Well, what happened was my dad had written the movie. 9 years ago, we're talking about getting it together. We go to the studio, and this guy at the studio says, you know, because most people, when they think Black Panthers, thought of scary guys with guns and stuff. So, and very few people knew about the food and breakfast programs or the linking up with the Peace and Freedom Party, who was the white students to run like mixed people for, you know, black and white for president, etc. So anyway, I go to the studio. The guy says, Mario, we love the script, babe, but one little change you got to do. So I'm sitting there with my dad. He says, make one of the lead Panthers white. I said, well, but, you know, my dad's cigars drew. Now, you got to know how to talk to these guys in Hollywood. So I said, oh, babe, you know, but that's, like, historically inaccurate. You got it. He said, oh, I understand. He said, okay. Well, since the Panthers had support like Jane Fonda...
They wanted Pauly Shore, didn't they?
Yeah. The Panthers had, like, Marlon Brando was a supporter, and Gene Seberg and Jane Fonda. So they said, get a young girl to play like a Jane Fonda character, and she meets these 5 brothers from the hood and teaches them how to read and write, and they become the Black Panthers. And when you think about it, now hold up, now you think that's funny. Okay, but he said to me, he said, look, we know that Martin Luther King had a lot to do with the civil rights movement, but when we make Mississippi Burning, we focus on William Dafoe and Gene Hackman.
Oh.
We know that boxers look more like Ali and Tyson, but when we make a movie, they look like Stallone.
Right, right.
And you start to think, and he said, look, no one cares about Indians unless you put Kevin Costner in the middle.
Right.
So a lot of it, when you look at it, you go, wow, I never thought of that. Yeah. So after I did New Jack City, and New Jack made some money, and, you know, Hollywood's not so much just white or black, it's also green. Right? You know, the color, you know.
They say it makes the world go round.
Oh,
yeah. They
so
say
then
that.
The 5th week, New Jack City makes enough money, and they start inviting you to lunch, which is a good thing. I love to eat lunch. I actually got lunch to go because I never knew if, you know, I'd get another cent. So
Can I save this, please?
Yeah, I got food to go. And then I went around. They wanted me to make more New Jack, and I wanted to make this Western because I found the old charter of Los Angeles that says the first 44 settlers was a mixed group. 44 of those settlers, 26 was black, and the other part was white. But you never see that in the old Westerns. Right. So I went to the studio and said, okay, now I want to do my Western. And they said, well, what do you want to make Unforgiven for? And then I heard Boys in the Saddle, Fistful of Colors.
Oh, my God.
But that was cool, because then I said, well, you know what I'm going to do with this? I'm going to have the funnest character in this Western be Little J, who's the white kid. So then, you know, I like to flip it all the time. So then after that, I wanted to do Panther, and they're like, oh, my goodness. And we did it. So we did it, and it... You got it made, and you got it made the way you wanted to do it. A lot of controversy. It's like the most exciting thing I've ever done, really. We just in Locarno won the Film Festival Award for Silver Leopard, Christian Award for Humanity, speaking of the Pope, and the Young People's Award. So it's been exciting. That's very exciting. Yeah, Good for you. Well, can you hang on for 1 second, because we have a lot to talk about. I want to stick around. We'll have more with Mario Van Peebles when we come back. Hang on.